Yes, fight fans, body and mind sports, my people. You are fully appreciated in this round, my guys, my people. So let's get right into it. The new relationship between Top Rank and Dazn, my guys, my people. They have signed a multi-year deal for Dazn to broadcast their live events, but it's not just limited to that. This deal also allows access for subscribers to get into Top Rank's legacy archives, which spans 6 decades, of Top Rank in operation. And it includes action from the GOAT himself, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Hagler, Duran, Leonard, Oscar de la Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, even down to Terence Bud Crawford, who just recently retired. But the legacy doesn't stop there. It continues as Top Rank currently has a bag of real talented current young champions, young, highly ranked contenders, right? And fledgling young fighters that tomorrow they have every ability to be future stars in the sport, my guys, my people. Legacy makers in the sport. So Top Rank are in a very strong position and looking real healthy. Even their owner, Bob Arum, the man that started Top Rank in the 60s and has been in the business for 60 years and is himself, 92, 93 years old. Boy, still going strong, my guys, my people, which is encouragement to everybody. But it is also clarity here now that we know their position, because there was a time when it was speculated that Top Rank was soon to be out of the sport of boxing, because Top Rank did spend 9 months, didn't they, since leaving ESPN in July, right? They spent 9 months just being unattached to anybody, just totally being unattached to anybody, my guys, my people. So it was hard to tell at that time whether Top Rank was down and soon to be out, or whether they were just waiting for the right time to find a suitor, right, to find somebody who they thought suited them best as a broadcaster, because it was very bizarre why Top Rank to be in the elite standing as a promoter, for nobody to want to accept them, into their home, into their broadcaster home, for them to even not want to make anything of the value and the talents that they have, right? So it just looked very odd that they were just just in limbo, I guess. Yeah, but now we know they're at Dazn. Finally, now we know it is Dazn, my guys, my people, and it has not been disclosed exactly what the rights fees are that is tying the deal all together. However, the Ring magazine on Monday, they were the first to spread the rumor within a post, right, that there was that Top Rank and Dazn were in talks to finalize this deal here, and the Ring was reporting in that post that it wouldn't be an exclusive deal and would only contain 8 to 10 fights per year, and to be supported by only 1 million to 1.2 million in rights fees per event, my guys, my people. Those figures highly suspicious, but the red flag is initially raised when the actual post was deleted, right, just soon after when it was made. So that was highly suspicious, but the suspicions intensified obviously with those figures. 1.2 million rights fees per event, man, that is even smaller than the 2 million rights fees per event that Boxer has with the BBC. And listen, Top Rank, history-wise, roster-wise, what they've done in the sport, what they're worth, what they can give, it's light and day compared to boxer, my guys, my people, whose roster is stable, only contains what, how many fighters? About 20 something fighters. I don't even know, might be even less than that, my guys, my people. So what Ring was saying was totally untrue, and that, you know, the purses were much higher than they were being reported. That is the rights fees were much higher than what the Ring were reporting. And in some instances, top ranked champions in their contracts with Dazn had purses well into 9 figures. So this is a huge deal. Nothing as small as what Ring might lead you guys to believe. You know, at the press conference, right, for this deal, which was launched yesterday, right, they were saying that the deal consists of what, 54 fights per year. I think 54 or 52. So that is either equaling or more than what Top Rank was producing at ESPN, right? So this is not a small deal, and it is long term, my guys, my people. But yeah, is this the road that the Ring is going to be taking now? You know, the propaganda route. We know that the Ring is owned by Turki Al Sheikh, who also owns 60% of Zuffa boxing. All right. Now, is this the stance that the Ring magazine is going to use in support of Zuffa boxing in their war against the old establishment, my guys, my people? Are they going to take this propaganda stance, the spreading of rumors? Because if that's the case, then you know, how are we gonna take any future news that they publish seriously? How are we going to take them as credible sources? How can we take them seriously as a credible source in the future when it comes to boxing news? It defeats the objective, isn't it? I suppose, look, I suppose it doesn't really matter, but it raises some curiosity for me, that Top Rank is actually with Dazn now, you know, because they haven't always been full of high praises for Dazn. I remember in 2022 or 2021, could be even 2023, when Bob Arum criticized Dazn, calling them the dead zone, that he would never put on a show on the dead zone, that nobody wants to watch a show on the dead zone. And I believe that was when they were exploring first the idea of Bet Beef versus Bivol. Yeah, Bet Beef of Top Rank versus Bivol of Matchroom, my guys, my people. Also alleging that before Top Rank actually left ESPN, there was friction, you know, between Top Rank and ESPN, who was accusing Bob Arum of double dipping. Bob Arum, who was receiving around $85 million in rights fees at Top Rank, right? Yet all Top Rank's biggest events, right, in the last years with ESPN, all their biggest events were on Riyadh season cards, and they were not on ESPN. For example, the Francis Ngannou Tyson Fury, that was the inaugural Riyadh season card, yeah, right? That was in Saudi, and it wasn't on ESPN, it was on Dazn. And so was the free Fury versus Usyk fights, right? Remember, Fury and, or should I say, the two Usyk fights, not free. We have to remember that Fury was joint promoted at the time by both Top Rank and of course Queensbury Promotions, my guys, my people. Yeah, and then the two better be fights as well, all on Dazn, not on ESPN. ESPN had no parts. My guys, my people. So yeah, all the business going away from ESPN, you know, and then the accident of course Jared Anderson as well, who fought on Dazn on a Riyadh season card against Martin Bakoli, and he lost, potentially destroying a fledgling fighter, right, that was built up at ESPN. So that was a huge blow to ESPN, right? So friction was already there between Bob Arum and ESPN before he left, and there were already speculations that ESPN would not be renewing his contract at its end, my guys, my people. So yeah, it was already there. It was just that we didn't know where Bob Arum was gonna go to. Nobody knew. Nobody knew, my guys, my peeps. That is on Front Office Sports, which is quite a reliable source, very reliable source, according to Trustpilot anyway. That, you know, this deal with Top Rank and Dazn has come at a point where Eddie Hearn is also facing criticism from the staff at Dazn, also for double dipping, dipping, my guys, my people, for putting events that should be on Dazn with fighters who are exclusive to Dazn, but they're ending up on Netflix, like for example AJ and Jake Paul, and it looks like AJ and Tyson Fury might also end up on Netflix, my guys, my people. They also don't like it when you have fights where it should be Matchroom promoted, but Matchroom is not a promoter. Like for example, the Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano fights, the last two, they were both on Netflix, right? And also not promoted by Matchroom. So double jeopardy there, and not great for Dazn. And listen, what's interesting about this is that Front Office Sports also reported that Dazn actually has a 40% stake in Matchroom. So you can see why, if Matchroom is giving business to other people which should be belonging to Dazn, then that would be a conflict of interest for Dazn, right? For Dazn, my guys, my people. Yeah, however, the friction has been denied by the staff at Dazn, saying that the relationship with Eddie Hearn is perfectly fine, and that is why they struck a deal to extend their contract, my guys, my people. Yeah, but all that said, all that said, my guys, listen, they were also hit by the poaching of Conor Benn to Zuffa Boxing, isn't it, for 15 million, and that was a very huge hit on you know, on of course Matchroom Promotions, but equally it was a hit, huge hit on Dazn. All right, so what a time, to bring in Matchroom Promotions. I mean, to bring in Top Rank to, I mean, it more than substitutes the loss of Conor Benn, right? 10 times over, 50 times over, my guys, my people. You replace Conor Benn with a whole promotion full of champions, and I mean of every level, fighters of every level, elite fighters, bringing quality to Dazn, basically. And now we have all of the promotions under one promotional banner, well, the four major ones, except from the PBC, right? The PBC is still with Amazon Prime. Let's see whether they would eventually go to Dazn. But this is a perfect alignment and has come at a perfect time with the threat of Zuffa, right? And you know, Zuffa too though, they are they have their own battle formation, right? Of course, we know about the power brokers that are backing them. Turkey Al Sheikh, Seller, TKO, Ben Shapiro, and of course WWE's Nick Khan, right? But listen, in terms of broadcasting, they have aligned with Paramount Plus to broadcast their shows in the Americas, and for Europe and the UK, we have, of course, Sky, my guys, my people. They are now with Sky also. And the plan is that they would bring at least 4 to 5 UK events every year. This is the promise by Zuffa. With concerns to their new deal with Sky. This is amazing, right? This is amazing. So Zuffa, which is heavily backed, Paramount Plus 2, which has purchased Warner Brothers, right? This is huge, right? But this of course would only drive up competition, all right? And the old promotions are more than equipped with their stables combined. They have the quality to put on bigger, better events, and I think ultimately that is what is going to attract boxing fans, unless Zuffa can poach more fighters, and it has to be quality fighters, elite fighters, my guys, my people. They can't just depend on great matchmaking with middle tier fighters. Yes, we did have the likes of Jai Opetaia fight last week, right? 2 weekends ago now, right? But it wasn't an elite fighter, but he wasn't fighting an elite name. He wasn't fighting an elite name, my guy. So it's gonna depend on quality ultimately. Can they poach the fighters that they need? Right? So that is the battlefront, the unification there by the old promotions, which it looks like Turkey's plan, isn't it, to unify all the promotions under one umbrella. Boy, oh boy. Now, if it is that Turkey has somehow used Zuffa boxing to frighten all of the old promotions to unite, then that's genius. That's quite genius, isn't it? That is what it's looking like. Because either way, for Turkey, he doesn't lose. He doesn't lose whether Zuffa is winning or the old promotions are winning. And I guess this is just a tactical thing to drive up competition, my guys, my people, and maybe drive up profits for himself ultimately, my guys, my people. This is exciting. I love it. I like the competition. I think it's going to be better for fans overall to get the great fights and great matchups that they want to see. And this Dazn union with the promotions, the 4 promotions now will 5 really, if we count the likes of, let's say, Boxer, all right, because they are still tied to Dazn as well. Yeah, but this union here, it does mean better for the fans, because it gets rid of the politics, the different broadcaster politics, the politics of I'm with a different broadcaster and you're with another broadcaster, and both our broadcasters as fighters well, us fighting one another would mean a conflict of interest for their investments, right? So it eliminates that. So from now on, if fights don't happen, you know that it will be down to the promotions or the fighters, not so much so the broadcaster, because no matter who fights now, you know, amongst fighters in the promotions under the zone stands to win. Either way, there's no loss for the zone really. Well, anyway, that's how it seems on the surface. But if there's any issues in making fights, it should be down from now on, really, for the most part, on the promotions and the fighters, my guys, my people. Just as we have in a situation of Bruce Ennis and Virgil Ortiz, where we have Bruce Ennis and Eddie Hearn willing to fight, but then there's politics on Virgil Ortiz and Golden Boy Promotions side, Oscar De La Hoya's side, my guys, my people. Oscar don't want the fight, all right? So that politics is still, you know, even though now Oscar is saying he wants to fight, but that situation is in arbitration now after going through a lawsuit. So there are still other politics beside broadcaster and politics, my guys, my people, that could actually prevent fights. You know, but you guys tell me what you think. Is this better for boxing going forward? Because there was always this popular belief that was pumped out that different broadcasters provides more competition, which would be great for the sport ultimately. That it would be the best thing. But I think boxing is better this way, with all the promotions under one umbrella. Yeah, it eliminates some of the politics, as I've explained. All right, but look, Top Rank, I gotta give them credit for the time when they were isolated without a broadcaster. They survived very well the threat of Zuffa, because in the 96 signings that Zuffa has made so far, I can only account for one fighter, and that is F.A. Jagba coming from Top Rank, and that is not a huge loss, especially as they get to hold on to the best of their talents, the best of their value, my guys, my people, which is maybe proof of the ironclad contracts that Top Rank holds with its fighters, or maybe testament to the trust that fighters have on Top Rank and their track record to carry them through to the destination that they want to reach as fighters, my guys, my people. Either way, they done great. Because Zuffa could have done a hell of a lot more damage. You know, they even received less damage than, you know who? Matchroom, my guys, my people. Then Matchroom. But you guys tell me what you think. Ultimately, is it worth it? You know, I think it's a great idea, but it will depend on what they can make of it. They get rid of the other politics as well. That is what I'm saying. With that said, that's all I have for you on this one. Before you leave, do like, share, subscribe. Of course, drop your comments below, and as always, stay super blessed. Until the next one, thank you for watching. I'm out of here. Stay blessed.